What's up, guys? This is Kevin with Prometheum Forge, and today we are working on the assembly instructions for the sector, Magneticus, both corridor doors, and 3D parts. Alright, so here we go. And on our screen here, you're going to see all the pieces laid out for the corridor walls. I'll just kind of stack things up. Essentially, the whole set is made of columns, and then short walls and long walls. So we'll just build one example of each. Main thing to do with your magnets, you'll get a bunch of those, is to mark your polarities. So it really doesn't matter which one you want to call north and which one you want to call south. You just got to mark your magnets so they are all pointing the same direction. These magnets are unmarked, so both sides look identical. So I highly suggest that once you figure out, which way is north and south, get a marker, and I'm using an Expo marker for this build, and go ahead and mark all of a pole, and I'm just going to call these north for the rest of the video. I don't know if it's actually north, kind of doesn't matter as long as you're consistent with yourself. So now that my magnets are marked, I can start getting things seated in the MDF pieces. So right there you saw a little sheet of stickers. You could really use anything. You could use tape, stickers, whatever. These are just like labeling stickers. I got a bunch of them off Amazon for a couple bucks. And the idea is I'm creating a backer for the magnet. The magnet's going to stick inside there with some super glue, and I just made a back against which it'll sit. So this is the column vertical piece. Just apply some glue, slide those together. Nothing too technical there. And then you're going to see me glue the tops and bottoms and sides on before I put the magnets on this particular piece. And what I would actually recommend is that you seat the magnets first, and I'll do that on the next piece. Just kind of messed up the order on this one. You'll notice I'm using a syringe to apply my wood glue. I really like the syringe method. It's a great way to get a really exact amount, kind of helps from spilling too much excess glue all over the piece. And again, you can get like 10 syringes for $5 on Amazon, I think, so great tool for the toolkit. So here come the pieces. You'll notice that the side pieces alternate which side is up and which side is down according to the slot. And it doesn't matter which way they go in the end, just kind of fit everything together on there, and it's good to go. Alright, so here comes a short wall. Again, top and bottom, and two sides. And again, putting the stickers on the backs. Notice those are going on the backs to give the magnet something to rest against. And I just flipped my super glue upside down so I could start getting it ready to put in the holes there. I like this gel super glue. I have thinner super glue that I'll use on models, but the thinner super glue will sometimes kind of wick out of the adhesive on the sticker there, so with the magnets, the gel stuff just works pretty well. So now I'm installing the magnets, and you'll notice that those two pieces, one is the top, the one with the etching, and one is the bottom. And the black, the north, went up on those magnets. Now with the walls, they both match. So we'll talk about the polarity a little bit more with those in just a second, but just note that the walls are the same, and the tops and bottoms, those alternate to keep north going up, so to speak. And that'll make a little more sense once I get those pieces put on here. So you'll see that north is up, and on the bottom piece, north is still up. You just can't see the black side of the magnet. And here come those sidewalls. So now that piece is done, and I'll set that aside to dry up for a minute. And now I'm going back to this column piece, and I'm installing some magnets. After all the pieces are glued together, this method can work as well. It's really just kind of a matter of preference. I think it is a little easier to do it when it's still disassembled. So here I am just putting in a dot of super glue, and then when you push in the magnet, the glue will well up around the magnet a little bit, which is by design. Just checking my polarities there. So if north is out on the walls, then north goes in on the columns, because the walls stick to the columns, so you want those opposite. All the walls are the same, all the columns are the same, but they're opposite so they stick to each other. When you're setting up your ZM boards, you're never going to stick a wall to a wall. It's always a wall to a column, so that's why horizontally those are opposite. However, on all the pieces, up is up and down is down as far as the vertical alignment. So you'll notice on that top piece right there, once again, that black side of the magnet, the north side, that is up, and the silver side is out for that bottom bit. And here you're going to see me seating those magnets down, and that's real important. If the magnets are sticking up at all, you'll get a wobble, and you really don't want that. So use something, use your finger, use the glue of the lid of your glue to really seat those magnets down. Make sure that they're totally flush with the material. So just gluing on the tops and bottoms, and then here come the sides. So after you assemble all your wall pieces, you're going to come in with your cardboard detail layers, and I don't have that on video, but I can just show you a picture here, and it's really pretty simple. Just apply glue to the back of the cardboard layer and seat that right on the wall on both sides. One thing to note, don't tear your cardboard pieces out of the frame. Go ahead and use your hobby knife and cut those. You'll get a much cleaner cut. You'll be a lot happier. Alright, so here comes the 3D bits. So the first is the biggest floor bit. Now I actually had to split this because it's too wide for the boxes that we use to ship all your stuff. So I had to install a cut line, and gluing it together like that is optional. I like to put a bead of glue down the two edges for a butt joint there, but you don't strictly have to. Now you're going to see me installing these bits that kind of look like staples a little bit, and they are really just to get the spacing exactly right. So from the top, that piece looks seamless. In addition to those, and we'll flip it over and just wipe up some of the excess glue. But in addition to those staples, you're going to want to throw a piece or two of scrap MDF on the bottom just to really get a strong connection there. It is a big piece, so that's a lot of leverage. So I've got some little bits that I installed there, and you might actually go with a slightly bigger piece of scrap just to get a nice strong connection there. A little bit of weight on top of those with product placement. Put a little weight on top of that board to really get a strong adhesion there. Alright, so on to stairs and ladders. The ladders you might recognize from most Prometheum Forge kits to this date have used the same ladder design, so you basically just have those clips that hold things on top, and then the simple ladder, which is your vertical piece. And then at the same time I'm punching out the stairs and the treads. So here we go, just apply a little bit of glue to the front and back of your ladder, and then put those clips on. They are symmetrical, so it doesn't matter which way they go. Just kind of neaten things up with the glue, make sure you got nice 90-degree angles. And the ladders are done. Now with the stairs, really not too much to say with these. Just a couple things to note. The treads are asymmetrical. One side of the tread has a flat edge and one side has a slightly rounded edge. So just look at those two edges, pick out which one you want, and then just keep them consistent would be my advice as you go down. Adding a little bit of extra glue. And with the stairs, when you're putting the other piece on, it's really going to feel pretty fiddly and unstable until it dries. And once it is dry, it is really pretty strong, even though it feels kind of funky, you know, until you get those last pieces in place. So once I get all the treads seated, I'm going to go back in and now put the glue on the treads instead of the opposite stair riser, but you can do it however you want. And then, like I said, just kind of struggle a little bit until all those treads are seated in the holes. And by the way, there's a wide set of stairs and the assembly is exactly the same, so I won't roll in footage of that. But there you go, stairs and ladders. Alright, so these are the railings that go around all the octagonal pieces, and in principle these are really quite simple. You'll notice that most of them are angled, and the angled ones really add a good measure of stability to the railings. They are all removable to give the set modularity, so you can add walkways and connect things however you want. So I wanted a compromise between the railings being removable, but then also pretty stable. So these singles right here will add a little bit of flexibility, even though they're a little more wiggly. The flexibility is worth it. Here is the armored walkway, and not really going to show you the assembly steps here. Everything is fairly self-evident. Those clips will use the inner slots, the inner holes, and just make sure that those are seated real well, and you'll see what I mean. Get everything parallel, and that'll give you a great fit. There's also a magnet on that, and the magnet is optional for that installation. Alright, here come the ladders, and these are just a variation. They look kind of cool. These are a safety cage ladder, because, you know, in the underhive, safety first. So, punching out the safety cage there, and then the clips, which work the same as the last ladder that we established. So, each one is going to take 3 round horizontal pieces, and then you'll see how those go. So put a little bit of glue in those notches, install those round pieces, and then those longer pieces will just install to keep those all lined up and looking cool. There's a notch. It's hard to see in this video, but just get your glue right in that little notch there, and then just mess around with those until they seat properly. And then you'll finish up this ladder the same way the other ones did by just installing those clips front and back. And again, they're symmetrical, so however you do that, doesn't matter. Just get it neatened up, and you are all done. Okay, last piece that's new for this kit. I call this one the fire escape ladder. So the basic idea here is there's an upper section and a lower section with the ladder, and those 2 sections are connected with a platform that goes in the middle. Platform has a railing that goes around it, so those are the uprights for the railing that I'm punching out right there. Those little guys are the same safety bars as the other cage ladder that we just established, but they're just a little bit shorter because these ladders are shorter. And there's our clips. So you're going to recognize pieces from the previous ladder build, really kind of the same ideas there. And you can do this in a couple different orders. You can either build the hand railing first. Now just a note on the hand railing, it's designed to be removable if you wish. So you can glue the railing uprights down to the platform if you want. You could also not glue the uprights down, just glue the railing to the uprights. And then that piece will be removable if you want it to be. So you can, you know, use that as a connection point for walkways. If you want everything stable, just glue the whole thing together, and you'll be good to go. Okay, so now I'm adding those round bars right here. Again, there's only 2 because these ladders are a lot shorter. And then those little vertical pieces right here. Now when I glue this ladder subassembly, and this is the lower assembly to the platform here, I'm going to put glue, I'm sorry, forgive me, that's the top assembly. Here comes the bottom subassembly. So same steps, but what I was going to say was you apply glue to the top of the vertical bits, and you'll see what that means in just a second. And all of this will glue to the underside of that midway platform. So here comes the glue on top of those, and then right there, and now flip that upside down, and there you have it. So once that's dry, glue the top ladder assembly on, and then the handrail, and you're good to go. Alright, so a final word on the polarities of your magnets. Just remember that all walls are designed to stick to columns, so align your magnet poles such, and everything else in the entire set, up will be up and down will be down for every single magnet. Whether it goes on the top of a piece or the bottom of a piece, and whether that is a wall, a column, or a floor section, or the walkway section, it's all the same. So for me, the marked side, I'm calling that the north side, and that goes up on every single one of those pieces. If you're consistent like that, what that's going to allow you to do is stick anything to anything, and you know it's all going to line up polarity-wise, and everything is compatible. So you can just build your tabletop in a modular way, and you can build it in any way you want to. And look out for future Prometheum Forge sets where the polarities of the magnets will also match. For the Prometheum Forge Sector Magneticus corridor walls and 3D bits. So hope that kit assembles easily for you. If you have any questions, go ahead and shoot me an email through prometheumforge.com, or on the Facebook page, just search for Prometheum Forge. And check out our website, prometheumforge.com, for lots of other terrain kits. If you liked this one, you're bound to find a bunch more stuff that I think you'll like. And all of this is available on everylittlewar.com. Thanks a lot for watching.